Okay, here's just a quick video on feedback. I'm going to try to keep my speed of speech very fast. Feedback. Everybody hates it. Nobody wants to do it. And it happens once a year and it's like a tick box thing. And a friend of mine, a colleague of mine said to me, oh, I'm about to go for a performance review. And I said, oh, that's great. And she said, no, Michelle, it's not, because I go every year. I say what I want to do and I want things to change, and it never does. So even once a year, giving feedback doesn't really give people the things they need to really move on and get ahead in their career. So practicing once a year is not going to improve, and you're never going to be good at it if you just do it occasionally, because it just becomes, when you're giving feedback, you get them into the office. It's under duress. It's really difficult circumstances. They're already on the defensive, which is not a great thing. And with someone who gives it once a year, you absolutely have no practice. And this is what makes it such a disaster. It's difficult, okay, as you don't practice. So the solution is to practice, practice, practice. Avoiding it as well. We all avoid giving feedback. And then, of course, it even makes it worse because we're actually stressed when we go to give feedback. So the key thing is to give a sweet, sour, and sweet piece of feedback. And you need to be doing that every time you work with someone. You need to give them feedback like this. So, for example, I could say to myself, I guess, Michelle, I love it when you come to work because you're always on time. You always have a really enthusiastic desire to start your shift, which is really fantastic. But I see when you get really busy, you get quite flustered, and then sometimes you can forget to do things. But I know you so well. I know that if you're given some advice, that you're going to take it up and run with it. So I'm getting really excited about starting to give feedback more because it gets easier. And this is the easiest way to give it. Give lots of positive and then one thing of improvement. So for example, if I practice that, if I started to play golf again, I'd have to go to the driving range every week, and then I'd have to play golf every week. That's the only way I would be able to get anything out of golf again, because if I play once a year, it's terrible, and I never want to walk on the course again. It just gets a bit like that. So if you're an associate NUM and you're looking at giving real value to your team, also the organisation, and building your career in nursing, you need to give feedback to every staff member you work with every shift. So instead of giving it once a year when it's a bit of a disaster and it takes you ages to recover and probably have to go home and have a few drinks to get over it, you would be getting so good at it. And this means that person is going to get feedback every time they work with you. That's a lot more than just once a year. So you'll get used to it and you'll start to become a master at it, which is so exciting. Who doesn't want to be a master at giving feedback? Because they are going to improve and you are going to improve by giving it. And guess what? Everyone's going to trust that you're absolutely amazing leader, that you're giving them things to improve and you're giving them an idea of what that is. And what will happen is you'll start to look at what they're doing. You'll start to go and see how good they are with relatives when they're difficult, how good they are with looking after patients who are quite difficult. And you will build honest relationships with your staff. And guess what? When the going gets tough in healthcare, as it does, the tough get going and they're going to do everything for you because you've been a great leader.